Hello guys, today we are going to learn how to use LGU to create a liquid glass effect in Unity. So let's get into it. I have this empty project from Unity. I added the LGU package and added some background images to show the effects. After installing the LGU, you will see the option to create LGU canvas, mergeable glass, and single glass. But before we create the effects, let's add a nice background. Right-click and add an image to the scene. Make it full screen and assign one of the background images. For background to work in LGU, we need to set the canvas render mode to screen space camera. And assign the main camera to the canvas. And now we can add the liquid glass objects. Let's create the single glass first. Single glass will only work in overlay canvases. So, let's create a new canvas and make sure it's in overlay mode. Let's rename it to the overlay canvas. Right-click, add a single glass object. Let's reset its position and make it a bit bigger. It's not showing the effect. That's because we need to add the renderer feature. Let's go to the settings, select the correct renderer. And add the liquid glass renderer feature. And voila! It's showing the effect. Let's move around the object to see how it looks. And we can set the radius to make it a circle or a rounded rect. We can also set the effect intensity. We can have this crazy effect. Or this subtle glass effect. We can set it to blur. So it will blur the area and have the glass effect. Let me make it look like a navigation bar style. There. Okay. Now, let's create the mergeable glass. Mergeable glass will only work in the camera space canvas. So we can add the object to the same canvas as the background. Right-click, LGU, mergeable glass. It's not showing anything because we need the merge effect canvas. Right-click, LGU, and create the canvas. And you will immediately see the effect in the game view. Let's move the canvas under the camera, as we will not touch it. And now we have the glass that can merge with other mergeable glass. Where we can set the radius, intensity, and blur just like a single glass. You will see that it will not merge with a single glass. Let's create one more mergeable glass. And they will merge when they get close to each other. Let's move it around to see the merge effect. Let's make them the same value, so they look much better. Since a single glass is a navbar, it should stay on top. Let's change the overlay canvas sorting over to 999. Let's change the background to see the effect. Let's make the object smaller and a circle. Make the effect more subtle. LGU not only supports circles and rounded rect, but also support any shape. I imported some sprites. In order for the sprite to work, we need to make the sprite 2D and UI type. And in the Advance option, we need to enable the Read, Write option. And click Apply. Then we can add the image component to the Mergeable glass object. And assign the sprite to the image component. You will see it's drawing the sprite to the object. Then we need to enable the Use Sprite Shape option. It will become the sprite shape. But since our sprite has color, the object will apply the sprite color to it too. For that, we simply need to set the image alpha to 0. Voila! The liquid glass object is in the sprite shape. And it can merge with other mergeable glass objects too. Let's make this object also a sprite shape. Add image. Assign sprite. Enable Use Sprite Shape. Set alpha to 0. Let's make it a bit bigger. And they can merge nicely. Imagine what kind of effect you can achieve with this? The limitation is your imagination. We can also apply the sprite shape to a single glass. Since the navbar looks nice, I am not gonna touch that. Let me duplicate it. Single glass works a bit differently than mergeable glass, as single glass already has an image component, so we don't need to add the image component. We just need to enable the Use Sprite Shape. Then we will have the option to assign the sprite. Let's assign this sprite. Let's change the pivot and make it a square size, so it keeps the aspect. And you can see, this will stay on top of mergeable glasses. Let's change the background. For sprite shape, we can set blur as well. But for this shape, it's not obvious. Let's create one more mergeable glass. And they can all merge nicely. We can disable the Use Sprite Shape and make the rounded rectangle. As you can see, there is no limits to what you can do with this. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.